Are we live? Is it working now? Are we live? Hey, wait, I heard something. Yo, test. Can we say a 1 in the chat? Ah, yes. Okay. Amazing, guys. Welcome back. I had some problems, internet issues. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. Yes, sir. Okay, episode number 80. Welcome back to the live day trading scene. Gold and Q volume order flow. Episode 80. Gold. Yes. Okay. Good to see you all. Welcome back. CPI, man. Wow. CPI. We have a lot of things to discuss. CPI came out. What a data. What a data was that yesterday. Yes, we have to talk about this. Okay, we have to absolutely talk about this. Looking forward to it because yeah, major CPI. If you were in a long yesterday, wow, crazy. Okay, we'll go over everything. We go over what we discussed yesterday. Yeah, pretty much everything. Okay, we're gonna go over it right now. Let's see where we are. We are in our zone. Okay, in our area of interest, I would say already. We're literally in it. We're in it. Okay, we'll have to talk about that. Anyways, let's get it started, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well, and let's make it a great day. Yes. All right. Beautiful. Let's do that. Okay. Yes, sir. Welcome back, my friends. What a news. What a news. So much things to discuss here. What a scam. What a scam. What a scam. If you guys know what I'm talking about here yesterday, what a scam, man. Federal Water says rate hike may be needed if the core inflation stays hot. All right. So what happened after that news came out? from Federal Reserve chairman, okay? There were a lot of statements that he made after that, okay? And these statements were all about interest rates, interest rate hikes, potentially this month. Potentially this month. What happened was the Fed rate monitor to shoot up to 50-50. Remember yesterday? We talked about it. Yesterday, 50-45, 55% no, 45% yes. We're going to see a rate hike in the next 2 weeks. Inflation comes out, 3.5%, 0.3% lower than expected, 0.7% lower than previous forecast or previous outcome. Fed rate monitor tool drops back to 84, 85% no. What happened with gold though when he announced that? Gold dumped super hard into that extreme. And then the news came out and we came back all the way to the highs of pretty much almost a day. That pretty much day to the opening gap pretty much. Right there. Okay. What a scam. But anyway, that's how news works. That's how they can utilize it in their favor. Okay. Federal Reserve Chairman comes out a lot of news, and then boom, price drops, gets into higher time frame support, and then it comes back up, and then news comes out, and then it's back where it came from. Okay, so now we have to watch an area very, very closely. I actually made an analysis in the Telegram today, or yesterday before I went to bed. For you, maybe still today here. Okay, and one of those layers is the following. That's this one right here. We have marked out that zone. The lesson is definitely waiting for extremes to be hit. When we talked about extremes, this is a good example of what we talked about. We talked about this in our analysis.
Somebody, guys.
In the Telegram group right here, we went through it, right? We said we marked out those extreme levels and why these extreme levels are always so important when you're in a range. And why trading with the trend, let's say, right? Like with the trend, because the trend is down, but the fact that the range is a range, allows you to still look for potential longs, of course, right there as well. You're surprised stepped into that, and then it ended up indeed coming into that zone. And pushing up with the CPI pretty much, okay? It is news related. It is a news push. And then we're looking at some couple of follow-through scenarios, follow-through setups, pretty much something that like that here during the Asian session today, in case we would be in one of those zones or pulling back into one of those zones. And we had zone A marked out, which was this area right here, which is actually the range right there. And then we had another zone, which is zone B, which actually comes more from a low volume node as well of the previous day, right? Something in that manner. So what did we do? We are pretty much hovering around zone A right now. We're not really choosing a direction. We're hovering around zone A. What I would love to see though is a closure above that high. Okay, I'm gonna be very careful with shorting here, to be honest with you guys, right now, at the moment. Okay, main reason why is dollar is relatively weak. Oil is pushing, is also getting rejected again. Oil is still in that same zone. We can't seem to break it. We can't seem to break out. Every time when we get up, we pull back, we get rejected. It's not that gold looks super strong though right now in rate respect, right? So the closure, I think above the 60 is what I would be looking for, okay? That is something that I would be looking at for longs, and then targeting at least those previous highs again at the 85s. Something like that would be nice. That would actually be a nice push to the upside here, okay? That's one layer, right? One breakout above the point of control of that level here. That is that level that we marked out in our analysis, and actually we're still in it, but we're not really making a decision right now. We need to break out. We need to break out of this area. Okay, it just doesn't look very strong now, but any closure above that level might induce that the strength is back a little bit right there. Okay, so I'm watching this very closely. Now yesterday, right, I had also marked out a selling zone around the 40s, right? The only difference is the reason why this was just totally invalidated and why we never took that setup eventually was because of the news, right? You're never going to allow news to be hit. You're not going to keep your limit order open if you're very close to it and news comes out, right? You know that the CPI is a big news event. It can take you out in either direction. The best scenario could be that you're in longs beforehand and that you but you put your stop loss on break even before the news. So you secure yourself. And even then you have to be careful with slippage and stuff. But anyways, you put your stops on break even. And if you're already in a position, you can hold on to it. But if you're not yet, it's better to wait for the news to come out and anticipate on the follow through and the outcome of the event itself right there. Okay, so closure above, amazing. What happens if you close below? Now the problem with that is if we take the volume profile from yesterday, okay, we have like a gap here. You see that? A huge gap right now that is still there. This is actually a huge area. And you can see that there are no contracts traded. Look, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, and 0. You see that? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's mark out a zone around that area with very low volume right there. Okay? Right there. And let's literally take a low volume node there. Okay? And we took our reset and look at where we are bouncing from. Look at that low right there. Look at that low right there. Okay? So that's another zone that I would watch as well here. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Okay, so that's it pretty much. We get reject from the point of control. We do have that low volume node sitting right below here. Okay. There's a reason why we're bouncing from that area. Okay. You could see that even though we have a low volume node there, there is still more volume traded there than there. Okay. This is actually a really cool tool from the volume profile is that you can actually see it if you allow it to. So you go to the settings, okay? You go to style and you click on values, okay? This needs to be turned on, all right? The values needs to be turned on. If you don't have this turned on, you will not see that, all right? So what you can do is, right, inside of this area, you can just look at the zeros, the zero prints actually, right there. And also the 2, by the way, it's very, very low, right? And you just mark it out right there. And people call this a fair value gap or whatever, an imbalance or whatever. We call this a low volume node. And, you know, the thing about low volume nodes and why I love this so much here is because of the fact that actually, when you think about it, when you use this data, right, the volume profile, you can actually confirm it with factual statements. It's not subjective anymore because it actually shows you the tick volume right there, right? And you can actually see that. So for example, inside of this whole area, there was a huge gap before already, like a huge gap, massive gap, right? In between there and in between there at closure, okay? So why does it exactly come to that point in this area, right? That is because there's those zero prints right there, that inefficiency in the market, okay? So I would never short in this area, okay? I would never short in this level. I would always try to see how price responds, and if it holds, yeah, I might be able to buy there as well, right? It's just buying areas that we're looking for right now, or that I'm looking for right now. Either, like I said, the closure above the 60s, or we have to pull back towards the 40s and find support there, right? It's pretty much the same level as we talked about beforehand. But yeah, now we have a nice another area that we have to watch very, very carefully. Okay, all that makes sense. Low volume node, and this is not a low volume node, by the way. This is just an area of interest because of these 2 levels right there. The point of control of the previous range, the previous area of balance, unbalance, right? Balance, unbalance, and now we're in an area of balance. Okay. So we are seeing an area of balance. We have a lot of data in that range. The point of control is therefore holding as resistance. If you wonder why do we get rejected there, point of control of that range. Why are we holding support there? Very low of that range. Okay, we're in between the very low and in between the point of control. Okay. So yeah, what do you prefer to see? It does not really matter. Like, anyways, it could be a long. Right, if it's a long and we close above that, I could put something, my stops below that candle low, and I could target, let's say, the high, look for follow through. I could also look for something like the value lower again, or the low volume node again. Put my stop loss below the low, right? Try to target that same level. The only difference is that you're gonna find resistance here, right? You don't have that follow through. So you need to manage your trade. You need to take profits as well here inside of these levels in order for you to, to make sure that you secure yourself before you reach resistance as well. But anyways, these are my two areas of interest right now at the moment. Relatively similar to my analysis yesterday. The only difference with yesterday's analysis late was just because the fact that we had our area right there, okay? We had a full daily closure now. Yeah, we had a full daily closure, and that's why we were looking kind of at the same areas overall here. But it kind of changes the dynamic of what we're talking about, what we're looking for, okay? So that is something that we're looking at. Wait for pullers to pull back for the 40s. I will long there. If we break out, I will long towards the highs. The only things with breakouts is that you have to be a bit lucky, because what happens if you shoot up and get and close way higher, right? That's kind of the issue with breakout trades. Unless you're aggressive and you watch the order flow very, very carefully, it might be worth to pay attention to it. But over time, you could see that usually you want to see closures. Closures really make the difference. Really make the difference. Right there. Okay. What is the win rate of order flow? Or is it much better than ICT, SMC concepts? I mean, order flow is just another confirmation bias. I would say it gives you another layer of confirmation. I would say volume is volume analysis by far the W. The W. Okay. What is the win rate? Is a bit of a subjective question, because it all depends, right? What is the win rate? If you have a huge risk reward ratio, then you can have a low win rate and become extremely profitable. If you have a high risk reward ratio, you need a high win rate, but you can also become extremely profitable. In this case, for me now, like we're sitting at a 75% win rate, and we're trying to keep this. We're trying to keep that up, roughly speaking. What are the settings? 128 and 70. Make sure the values are on. And then you need to ask yourself the question, how do I mark it out, right? How do I mark it out in general? Okay. Now, the way you mark it out is by either taking a previous day, a swing, or a range, okay? You have a previous day, a previous week, a weekly range, daily range, and a swing, okay? There are a couple ways you can mark out the volume profile. If you want to learn about this, it's all in a book that I created for you guys, so it's all in there. Like I always, I'll lead you guys to the basic foundation, because yeah, we'll talk about this also in the Telegram group. I will make a quick video in Telegram where I explain exactly how you can actually do that, right? How you can actually mark out the volume profile, and where and why, in what condition, what situation. I think that's going to help you a lot. Yeah. Yeah, in this case, this area is just a range. Initially, you could see the reaction from it. Right, in this case, you're dealing with a range. But yeah, if you see a breakout, great. If you can pull back into that low volume node, even better, I think. Even better. I'm like from my perspective, I like breakout trades, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Not the biggest fan of it. Not always, at least. It depends on the situation. I'm not impressed with gold right now at the moment. Yet, right? Because if the dollar is not really that strong, oil is getting rejected, for example. I mean, it's not super weak, let's be honest. It's holding up. It's not really breaking down right now, right? So yeah. Fibonacci says, Lorenzo, I've been following you for a long time now. Funny how volume profile, order flow are now trending. Yeah, man, people are waking up, I think, right? But you've been using the volume profile for how long? Since I started on YouTube, I think. Okay. Yeah, we might get back to that low volume node again. Hey man, before watching you, I thought I had to take trades every day, but you have taught me you don't have to. Definitely not, my friend. You don't have to take trades every single day. I have been almost trading every single day, except for the last couple of days. I've been taking it really easy, unfortunately. I love to trade too. I love to trade too. But it has to make sense, right? And it has to align. And there are going to be moments, no matter what strategy you use, that you're going to have a lot of trades, and there are going to be moments where you have a bit less trades. But you know, if you zoom out and you look at it from a monthly perspective, that's all that matters. Yeah, this is that zero print right there, right? This is why we're holding here. Yeah, that is why we're holding there. Or we have been holding there, let's put it this way. Not impressed with gold still. We have a lot of sellers stepping in at the top. That would be a target for us, right? Somewhere around that area. I think that is exactly what we talked about. That's exactly this zone right there. How much dollar you guys spend daily as an American and a trader? As in how much I spend on a daily basis? Bro, I have no idea. Okay, it seems that we're gonna go and test the 40s, I guess. Back to our low volume node again. Lovely to see that reaction though. I have to really watch that. Lorenzo, by the way, France versus Spain. Yeah, man, I heard that Spain beat France. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. Spain does it again. Spain, Argentina then, right? Fundamentally, the market is bearish. I mean, the data came out super good. Super bad for the dollar, actually. But yeah, there are a lot of quote-unquote bearish signals too. We're in the range. We're in the size of range at the bottom. You want to buy? Like, I think it was very smart to yesterday to look for longs instead. Obviously, when the news comes out, you don't really trade unless you can secure yourself. But even that, you have to be super careful with holding on to trades when you are around your entry with the CPI. Because I heard horror stories of people trading the CPI or FOMC or whatever, and they were on break even or a small profit, and then the candle came and it reversed the candle, and their stop loss did not get triggered. So even though they had put a stop loss, their stop loss did not get triggered. Imagine that. You think that you're safe and you think that you secured yourself, and then the stop loss doesn't go. That is nasty. That is nasty. It's only a MetaTrader though. Like in futures, usually. No, actually, I've seen this in futures too. To be honest. But it's definitely more of a MetaTrader, CFD thing. Yeah. Way wonder I got stopped on supposedly break even, but the spread was massive. Yeah, exactly. And especially if it's a huge candle like this one. You don't want to enter. You don't want to be in position. Unless you are way below and you can secure yourself, but pretty much the better your entry, the better situation, I would say. But yeah, so the idea is to take that low and then potentially flip again. That was what we were hoping to see. And otherwise, we have to wait all the way for price to be hit, for price to come down there. But that's not what I want. That's for sure. This one right here, this overall thing that you see there was just a breakout scenario in case we would close above it, but we never done that, so it's not really relevant for now. We'll keep the point of control open because it's such an important level. Usama says I placed 3 buy stops unvented. All stop loss got hit during the news trading. Account blown. Ooh. Be careful with news trading, my friend. It's so tempting. I know it's so tempting. But be careful. I think we can use 22. Very low. Okay, wow. All right, let's go order flow now. 5 minutes. Show me something. Show me like an absorption. Nothing. Then no trade. No trade yet. Wow, do we really have to come all the way down to this area right here? To the 35s on futures? Yeah, that is our zone, right? That's our second zone. Wow, is that really the place we have to go to? This area? Looks like it. Wow, no confirmation. Some of you guys shorted? Nice, okay, well done. Well done. There was one tell sign right there, which was actually the weakness, right? And we talked about it yesterday, the relative strength of gold. You could see that the gold was not really performing really great when the dollar and oil were weaker. I didn't set a buy limit or anything like that, right? So it's just waiting for some sort of confirmation in our area. What I'm looking for is if we could potentially see an absorption or something like that, but we don't even see that. Wow. No, we're not in yet. No, you can actually see it right here. And otherwise, you would see me placing a buy limit. You know that. Now, I just wanted to see you tap into our zone and a closure above an area like this. A lot of volume and then a closure above it. But 0-0 reaction. So if that's the case and we close below this in like 1 minute and 20 seconds, then this 5-minute candle will close. And I think the 15-minute too. Well, we might have to come down to this area. And that is the zone that we had marked out as zone B on Telegram. Well, let's see. We have not closed yet. Any closure below that, and I think we are pretty much being validated, I think. For longs, at least. At least at our initial zone. "26 seconds for that closure. I'm waiting it. You can see it in the bottom right corner. It's maybe I can actually do something like this. You can actually see the seconds in the bottom. It's gonna be a weak closure. Yeah, that's a weak closure. Okay, yeah, that's a very weak closure, my friends. I don't think that we should buy here now at this area. I think we should be more patient now. I will not mark it out. I would wait. You can see when there's an absorption taking place and when it's worth longing. Clearly not. No reaction. Why do I say clearly not? Because usually what we're looking for is a closure below the volume. If you look at the 15-minute candle, and the most volume in that candle is traded at the bottom of the candle, and we close below that. Okay, we close below it or around the lows. It usually tells us that there is just more weakness, more potential weakness. We are in our zone, but yeah, this is in my opinion right now just a crucial level to watch. But I barely see any absorption right now at the moment, so it's just not worth getting into longs now. Interesting reaction though, but that doesn't mean anything until the closure again. Hey Lorenzo, is there a template for the fixed range volume profile indicator? There is no template for it, no. But you can save it yourself. You can make it once and then save it yourself. Or you can take the colors here. Right there, right there. Sorry, right there. Right there. And the point of control is right there. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay, we're seeing a bit of an absorption, but that still doesn't really mean much when the closure is below. You have to then close above it again. How would you see buyers stepping in? You would see a lot of selling at the bottom, but the candle closure above it. That is one layer. It doesn't always have to be buyers stepping in aggressively. It can also be sellers stepping in, but the candle itself closes above those sellers, for example. Yeah, there's a lot of selling pressure still, so don't take it too serious right now. This pullback. Especially when you look at the dollar, indeed. Yeah, look at the dollar. Dollar is just ranging. It's not really pushing higher as strong. That's not what you want to see, right? And we talked about this all the time. Is if the dollar is flat and gold drops, that's not a good sign. Like you don't want to go long when the dollar is flat and gold drops, unless you have a really good confirmation. Oh, and oil is yeah, similar to dollar. Similar to dollar. It's just gold is dropping right now. We're in that area. In our low volume node. We're watching this candle very closely right now. The reason why I'm looking at the order flow a lot now is just because of the candles. We are in an area of interest. We are in a zone. So I'm just watching what happens inside of that zone, pretty much. Just curious to see how price is behaving here. Also, the hourly closure is in 9 minutes. And obviously, this is that candle where we came from. You will find support here, no doubt. You will find major support around this level, which is the 4 hour right here as well. But this doesn't look promising yet, even though we're seeing a little pullback. Yeah, to be honest, I think we just have to stick with our second zone that we marked out in yesterday's analysis. It seems the most important level, the 29. Is that the 29? Yeah, around 29. Around 29. On futures, it is the 35. So it is on spot. I need to see what the difference is between spot and futures. Futures is sitting at 45. Spot is sitting at 39. So yeah, that makes sense. Similar to where we got rejected here, we couldn't break above this. We are seeing something similar right here, right? We will find a lot of support sitting there as well. A bit of focus today. It's gonna be an important level. You see a little bit of an absorption, but it's definitely not strong enough. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. If this gets taken out and you pull back, then you can actually see that we will have an hourly closure as well. If we close around the lows, yeah, it's going to be a lot of resistance. It's going to be a lot of resistance. So if the low volume node gets taken out and you pull back, Yeah, it's a different scenario. The price is definitely flipping, but we are seeing us getting to higher time of support as well. So that would be considered a target. I would also pay attention to that level right there. If you are in a short, let's say, right, and you are still in on a short and you want to hold on to your short, then this is a good level to take profits. At least take profits there. In a ranging market, 34, 30 on or 29 on CFD. Which is this level right there, the 29. So we have to fly out tomorrow, yeah? Your stop loss hit since previous weeks? Bro, I've not taken any trades since Thursday, I think. Today is what, Tuesday? Wednesday, wow. Crazy. Yeah, I didn't stream on Friday and Monday. I'm happy that I didn't. Perfect. Yeah, no absorption here whatsoever, right? We could see that. Any closure would make the difference, but then you see it the last 2 minutes before the 50-minute closure. Reversal. Reversal. So that's why don't trust wicks. Trust candle closures. But that major zone on the 4 hour is a zone that we have to watch. Yes, we have to watch this area. The 29, 29. Especially if this zone gets taken out. I'm putting my full focus on the 29 area. Also this area, there's just so much support at the bottom here. So much volume traded here. Especially this zone too. This candle was the 8-hour candle of New York. Friday. We closed back above that. We turned that into support actually. Right there. This is going to be a huge lesson for the people in our elite as well. Watch the 8-hour candle. So the New York open candle, the 4-hour candle that gets created. And watch how the volume is distributed and where the most volume has been traded. But yeah, this is just such a huge level, guys. Such a huge level. I understand we're looking very bearish, but we can't neglect that level. So if you're shorting it, I would say target it. Target those levels. How's your account going? Right now we're sitting at the same thing, 17.5K. Where we took a small account from 6K. At the 16th of June, now we're at 17.55. And yeah, actually, not been trading on a Friday, not been trading on a Monday. So we're pretty much in a stage right now where I'm taking a bit easier after trading every day, sometimes multiple trades in a day. And that's just the market a little bit, to be honest. Like every strategy has its moments, I would say, where it's like consistent execution and where you have to be a bit more patient. Now I'm in a phase, apparently, I don't decide that. That just happens to be this way, where there are less trades on my side. But that can turn in a dime. That can turn in a dime. But hey, better less trades on my side, right? Than losing trades. Right? Yeah, the PSC of the dollar is also above here. That gap is there. I think you had a little bit of a retracement too, right? Was it this one? Aligning with the opponent control. How many contracts would you trade on a 50K combine per trade? 50K combine, so you can lose how much? 4%, right? Something like that. You can lose how much? 2K? No. Yeah, 2K, correct? 2,000 you can lose. I don't know. I would just risk one or two micros. Like, it depends, right? Are you able to like, you want to get funded quickly? You don't. You have the capital for it. You do not, right? If you want to take one account serious, I would not go higher than like one or two contracts, micro, really. Let's say two, right? It depends on the amount of pips you trade, the amount of points your stops are on average. If it's like 100 points, sorry, if it's like 10 points, not 100 points, 10 points, right? You can only have like, that's like 100 pips, right? You can only have like, what? 2 contracts, I guess? 2 micros? Hey brother, is the elite closed? Yes, man. The elite is fully closed. Yeah, well, you know, like I said, you will not hear me talk about it unless we'll go over like what is happening inside. But we're gonna close. We're not gonna open. We're not gonna open to more people. We have our remaining things, and that's it. Looking forward to it. What is the LVN? That's the low volume node. Low volume node. Low volume nodes. Area where like we have seen a huge fill, and we have kind of filled that low volume node right now. You can see that, right? We're kind of filling it. Let me know what you guys are doing in the chat. Are you guys trading with your own money or not? Are you guys trading more prop firms? What are you guys doing? Oh. Let's see. Prop firms, own money, prop firms, live, own money, own money. Oh wow, a lot more people trade their own money. Like it seems to be like significant. Prop firms too, but wow, a lot more people owe money, right? Yeah, I just heard the story about Alpha Futures. Have you heard that? Alpha Futures, are these guys right here? Is it this one? Which one is it? I'm not sure, right? Is it this one? Something happened. I didn't went too deep into it, to be honest, but something happened. I think Tradeovate banned them or something like that, and people lost all their accounts or all their money. Apparently, there's something happening around them. Alpha Futures broke confirmed. Horrible news coming out about Alpha Futures. Unfortunately, this is all too common for the prop industry. It also exactly explains why we built breakout. Okay, what else? What is about Alpha Futures though? Another major prop firm just rocked its own traders. Approved payouts gone. Funded accounts closed. Called it a refund. Sad part, it isn't surprising anymore. It becomes the norm. Yeah, it's just one of those stories, guys. You guys know how this game works. Yes, the only ones that I've seen is holding up and doing their best, and I have been consistent, is FundedNext. Like they're no matter all those props that come and go, FundedNext and FTMO. FTMO has been there since 2015. They bought the biggest broker in the world, Awanda, or one of the biggest brokers in the world. Right, so. For some reason, these guys are doing well, and the rest, they're trying to compete on rules, on the best possible rules, the cheapest accounts, and it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, okay? But you can't blame Alpha Futures for it, even though you can. You cannot at the same time. You understand how the prop firm game works, right? They take your money, and they give it to the winners, okay? They take you on and they give it to the winners. And if there are more winners than losers, it becomes a problem. It becomes an issue. Because who's going to make money? All right. Low Violent is reacting here. We're holding up in that area. We're not really following through anymore. Yeah, FTMO seems reasonable. From futures, I would say Top Step is still... Yeah, you can complain about Top Step, but Top Step has been or is still the biggest and is still doing very well, like in comparison. Top Step just likes to mess up with the rules. They like to integrate new rules every single week. Rules you never heard of. They're like the European Union. Okay? Top Step is like the European Union. There is a tax in the Netherlands that allows me to only wipe my ass with toilet paper that has 1 layer, because 3 layers is bad for the environment. Yeah, it sounds horrendous, but it's actually the truth behind it. I'm not even joking when I say that. It's like Top Step. No offense, Top Step. You guys are a great platform. Much better than 99% of all the other futures prop firms out there. There is no doubt. Okay, we're holding the low volume node, but yeah, we're not breaking down. We're not holding. We're kind of centered in the middle. This easy work, right? This is like an easy trade right there. Breakout above the highs, I think, leads into the continuation to the highs. Low volume node holding is not good. If you break the whole low volume node, you break back above and you retrace, there is a chance you create something like this, right? And you just continue towards our main area, which is the 4-hour zone right there, which is this target right there. It's actually lower. Then it becomes interesting, or we are in that zone. What other good pop firms are out there? I'm not a really big prop firm guy, right? I'm not a big prop firm guy, but I would say I just know that Top Step is reasonable. They come up with a lot of rules, like the European Union, but the standards are okay. There's enough volume happening, so it makes sense. You're not just gonna get rocked, I think. All the other ones, you know, I have no idea. Prop firms pop up left and right. Left and right, okay? This is why I'm personally very careful with promoting prop firms, by the way. I hope you understand why, right? Because I could have had, beautifully, I could have had 5 beautiful bars, banners, right here below. Right there. Now, right there. Beautiful banners right there. Making 50K a month. From affiliates. Yes, yes. You guys buying a lot of prop firm challenges. Okay? We'll make a lot of money there. But then one of those prop firms are going to hell. And then what? That's not a good look. That is not a good look. Right? So that's why I'm not into that stuff. The only one that I trust is FundedNext, like I said. I'm also not a big promoter of them. But FTMO, you know, the big ones. But yeah, whatever, man. Just choose what you think is right. If I promote something, it will be mine. I will own it. Why? Because I trust what I own, okay? I trust what I own, I trust what I create, and I have full control over it, so I understand what's going on in the back end. And the thing is, you don't know with these prop firms what is actually happening in the back end. You have no idea how this stuff works, right? What is actually happening inside of it. So, yeah, that'll be the only way. The only way. Anyways. I saw a guy in the comments yesterday under my video. He says, so you are a rich day trader that drinks Starbucks? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What are you saying, man? What does that mean? Like, what? You don't like Starbucks? What's wrong with Starbucks? Am I like missing out on something? I don't know. Do I need to switch to like a... I don't know, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, exactly. No, I love my Starbucks, sorry. I love it. What is the plan on watching the low volume node? How's price behaving here? We don't see any, yeah, you don't want a long here. That's for sure. You don't want a long here. I'm watching this level right now, the 29. We talked about it before. 29 is a level to watch. Round about the 29. What we're looking at. Okay, let me just clean it up here. Let me just mark out the low volume node for you so you have a bit of a clearer picture of what we're looking at, because low volume node is right there. We're literally in it at the moment. Okay, we're in a low volume node right there. There's a major level. We're kind of in it right now. We're trying to break it. Right? We're trying to break this area. And inside of this range, you also have another range, which is this range right there. First level we're going to meet, or we're going to reach, sorry, is this level. It's actually the, is it the 29 or is it the 30? Yeah. It's the 31 actually. It is the 31. Where are we now? We are undervalued. Dollar, oil. Oil not yet. Yeah, so we're watching this level very, very carefully. This area, which is predominantly this 4-hour zone that we marked out here. Okay. If the low volume node does not react in any way, shape, or form, there's no reason to buy. Confirmations were there when the confirmations were there. You would see it. You would see an absorption. You would see a good closure. Something similar to what we saw here. Yeah. Yeah, the 29 is the major zone that we have to watch, because the 29 is like the, is in essence that exact level, which is this area. Right there. It's pretty much the whole range as well, right? We have a whole range sitting here. And inside of that range, we have a couple of levels that we have to watch. So number one, we had an expansion from the CPI. Right now, we're going to take out the CPI low. Okay, it's the CPI low. We do expect a reaction from the CPI low, right? We take out the low of the CPI here, and we'll get towards the 29. I would watch that level very carefully. So I'm very tempted to see, okay, are we close? We are getting close. Yes, we are getting very close. Predominantly around there. Yeah, the dollar right now at the moment is just doing not much. I mean, the dollar is trying to push, but we'll find some resistance here. Dollar is pretty much flat. It's not giving us any indication. Oil is kind of in resistance too. So there's kind of that conflict of interest. I like this actual right now, this breakdown. On gold, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Also look at the overall profile right now. PS Monte says, my TP hits. Amazing. Congratulations. You see, I like that sometimes, that some people are just shorting. I'm not in a short myself, but we can both make money. And end the month in green. I want to give this a try, I think. I really want to give this a shot. At least a pullback scenario is already enough. I just think there's so much potential right now because we're going to deal with a lot of support here at these levels right there. And the 22 is a major level right there to watch, which is roughly speaking around there. I think there is potential for a little pullback here, to be honest. Especially now that we're tapping into this area. Cliff says, I heard someone say it's not about your entries, it's about your exits. And I felt it in my soul. That's true. It is, it's true. It's definitely true. Okay, so we're in the value hour high. We're reactive on the value hour high here. After tapping into the NFP, or sorry, the NFP, the CPI low. Becomes a very important level of interest right now. And then we have to put a control below that, right there. So we are officially in our zone that we talked about on Telegram, which we mentioned beforehand, which is this area. Zone B. Zone A was not the confirmation that we wanted to see here. Zone B is where we are right now. Now this is supported by the actual 4-hour zone, the 4-hour support. Yeah, so I am willing to try. Put my stop loss below those levels and see if we can hold this 4-hour zone. I just need to calculate it right now. Means around the 29, entry 29. Stop loss at the 19, I guess. 19 or 18. Yeah. Because I think there is an opportunity to then potentially do something like this. At least pull back to the range. It will be a counter trend scenario. So yeah. I want to give it a try, guys. That's it. Respecting it 4-hour zone here. What is the risk? The risk is around, I need to see it. The risk is around 1100. Risk is around 1100 USD. On our 17.5K now account. We started at 6, we built it up to 19. Now we're at 17.5. Now we take $1,100 risk. If you don't believe it, don't trade it. Don't follow what I do, like I say this all the time. Also on winning trades when we're in a 3-week winning streak. But this is what I want to do. Okay? This is the risk I'm willing to take now. And to trade a pullback. No liquidity sweeps, okay? None of that. Straight up bounce from here. Okay? Herein, yes. You have time to re-enter as well, in my opinion. But only trade if you believe in it. Don't trust me, right? I'm just saying it. I like to do this. I want to do this. I want to take the risk here. Yeah. I want to take the risk. Especially because the valuation against the dollar, we're undervalued for a long period of time already. We're creating what we call a little bit of a divergence as well here. Okay, we're creating lower lows and higher highs on the valuation. Pretty much right here. So this is where these absorptions can come in. It's just for me willing. We're at a key level. Order flow supports is level 2. So for me personally, this is something that I'm willing to take. Of course, we're in a range and we're long, so we need to take profits as well. I will be taking profits. Probably at those highs, around those levels. Trying. There we go. There we go. There we go. Give your boy a flip. Yes. Give your boy a flip. Give your boy a flip here. Show some follow through here. I like how we start here. I like how we start here. I like it. Where's your stop? 18. Yeah, 18. Yeah. Yeah, we're a bit in the scalping mode now, but yeah, we'll take profits. We'll be very sharp with our management for sure, but I'm not gonna be overly defensive now. Do want to see hopefully a little bit of an impulse. I love the injection of volume, right? I love the injection of volume. And I hope that we flip this. Hope that we can flip that. Let's just... Sellers are still there. Sellers are still there. Yeah. Yeah, we have to manage this one very defensively. What do I say defensively? I always said aggressively, but I actually meant defensively. Is that because we're in a counter trend right now a little bit, and we're trying to pinpoint the bottom, the short-term bottom here, right? You have to be a bit more sharp. We're trying though. Okay. You guys can see it right there, right? Oh. From the baseline back around again. We're trying. At least we're trying. Little counter trend. I thought the limit 29. Yeah, we're watching it, but I think I showed you guys already, right? On a 1 minute time frame in the MetaTrader. Which platform is best for trading gold? I mean, do you guys, and this is another question, do you guys prefer to trade CFDs or futures? Prop firms. CFDs or futures, prop firms. CFDs. I'm also more fan of CFDs, to be honest. Yeah, I am. Even though futures is great, there's nothing wrong with futures. I think these CFD firms give you a little bit more drawdown. You know, if you take it easy and you build, you get truly throughout these 2 steps, right? You do these 2 steps. I know it takes more time, etc., but once you have them, you're in a much better position. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, with futures, you can scale aggressively. You know what I mean? You can do that. How many pips is that? 70. Look at the hourly, that absorption right there, right? The very high. Yeah. Just want to see like a big impulse. You know what I mean? Like a big squeeze. A big push. But it's gonna be some serious resistance. Let's look at the dollar quickly. Dollar is looking weaker. Yes. Oil. You're not taking profit. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it mainly because of this level right here. The very low at 37.5. Yeah, this will be TP1, yeah. Very low. TP1 very low. Yeah, we're in an uptrend. We're trending down of the day. We're in a range. So yeah. We have to reach it. That would be crazy. It's always teasing like that, right? If you set your levels, it's always teasing. It's always teasing. Goonshi says, a wise man once said, you never get smarter in a trade. I love that. I love that. That's so true. It is so true. That's why you have to set all the rules beforehand. That's an absolute correct statement right there. Yeah. Okay, TP1 is it, man. Yeah. I mean, it's not the biggest trade in the world, right? Let's be honest. We're up $670. Okay. Whoop. But we had to snipe a bottom somewhere because we were pushing down and down and down, and we were already like the shorts there. Yeah. Anyways, you guys know what happened, right? So we're doing our best. That's it, man. We're doing our best, and we snipe potential bottoms, and we take profits in a counter trend. That's it. We are not greedy in a counter trend scenario, right? There's no way. Okay. And now we're gonna go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, higher time frame order flow. Cannot deny those levels. They're real. They're real. They're real. They're real. And if you then coincide that with a 50-minute level, which is the range, the breakout, the retest, the very high, and you see price getting absorbed there, it's an easy scalp. And it looks like super bearish, and everyone is saying short, 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 short. But that's why I'm saying, like, if you don't trust it, don't trade it. Like I said before, don't trade it. But I wanted to take that risk there. Yeah. Yeah. My entry is actually at the 30s right now, right? My entry is at 30. Entry at 3430.7. Actually, a bit higher. Yeah, it's actually not there. It's actually there. But yeah. There we go. Stabilis is risk-free, so if this goes, you have an amazing continuation, right? Back towards the highs, back towards the initial push, which can happen, definitely. And yeah, right there, right? Take it this way right here. Let's extend this a bit. Oh, nice. That's very nice. Lovely. As Max Verstappen, the Formula One driver, would say. Lovely. Lovely. Yes. These are breakouts. These are breakouts. Can I get some tea, please? Thank you. Who is in a long? Against all odds? Let me know in the chat, please. Against all odds. Okay, let me update this. Right there. Yeah, right there. Telegram, right? Yes. Oh, now it's gonna go, right? Now it is gonna go. Now it is gonna go. Stream trading zone B right there. Yes. Okay, very good 15-minute closure, my friends. It's a good closure, okay? It is a good, it's a good closure right here. We will find resistance at the 50s. So this is also a pretty good target, if you ask me, to be honest. The 50 right there, the value area low of that range, right there. That would be, in my opinion, the best target, the 50. Okay? I'm just reading it right now based upon the range. That could be a really good closure. Exit. Sorry. And a really good exit right there at the 50s. Yeah? Unless you don't, you know, unless you're making monies. What Telegram group is there? There are 3 Telegrams, one with 5K and 38K. 38K is a fake one. I just started my Telegram group, actually. It has 5,000 subscribers. Yeah, link is in description. We just started it. When I started my account challenge, I opened a Telegram. I opened my account when I opened the Telegram to journal that account, pretty much. Yeah, to keep you guys updated. Showed pure transparency. Yeah. So there is nothing better. This is the feeling that I'm chasing. The feeling of risk-free trades. What is better than the risk-free trade? A risk-free setup. Yeah, I do hope that we can follow through here. I think that right now it's a very strong impulse. You have to be a bit patient or careful around the VWAP, of course. Last time we couldn't close above it. That was an issue, remember? Or I haven't tapped into it yet. Yeah, this is an important level. And I also really like this area, actually. I think we'll find support there potentially. So I'm not going to exit the trade. At least not yet. Nice little absorption. Let's draw the mark-out, the volume profile. I think we're hovering around this area. That is good. Is the dollar pushing up again? No, dollar is breaking down. Oil, okay. Oil. Yeah, we don't have the market in our favor. I have to admit that. Right? We don't have the market in our favor. We're really fighting oil and the dollar at the same time. The dollar is weak and then oil pulls back. Yeah, and gold still reacts to that. So that's not really what I like here. I don't like to see that. Okay. The very low is the most important. If you close below that or break below that, I think it's just better time to just exit in full and take a small scalp here. Just look at the oil. Look at oil, how oil is moving right now. Yeah, it's tricky with oil. You can see there's a weird candle, weird 15-minute candle as well. We didn't even tap into the VWAP. I mean, we're risk-free already. We already took profits, but like, I did expect a little bit of a better, I didn't expect like such an aggressive push down again. We'll pay attention. Yeah, that's why we take partials, especially in this condition, right? So that is the exact reason why we do this. It saved me so many times. So many times. Now we're still holding it. I will make my decision based around this closure. And otherwise I just exit the trade completely. At the TP1 area. Just a quick scalp. For now we're holding. We're holding this area. Yeah. Couldn't break the lows, couldn't break the highs. Didn't take out the highs either, right? It didn't take out those highs. Triple highs. Yeah, it looked super nice, right? Like I was like, wow, we have the best entry at the bottom, at least, like for longs, for sure. Shorts were obviously king, but longs right here, best entry. And I was like, wow, what a clean closure was that. The previous 50-minute candle, super nice, super clean. And then this candle came, boom, swiped everyone out. That's why we take profits. But we're getting absorbed here, so that closure was actually yeah, good enough to hold on to it. So let's see. At TP1 again, that 40.37 level. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Yeah, if you would have closed below this area right here, this level, this area of trapped sellers, I would have probably closed the trade in full and not even let price come back to my entry again. I think we would have then definitely got back to the entry. In this case, we actually managed to bounce from it. Yeah. I love that absorption though. Pritri Shuan, welcome to the channel, my friend. There's definitely absorption, but I think we're kind of reacting from this zone right now, right? This area. It's kind of that demand that has been created right there. Especially because we had that low and a huge breakout, but it's not the cleanest. But that's kind of that support that we're holding here. Yeah, that's a bad closure on a 15-minute, unfortunately. 40 seconds. This usually tells the real story, right? I watch this all the time, and I see this happening all the time. It's how the candle closes in the last minute. So if it looks like an absorption, you know, the bottom wick looks very clean, like we're getting absorbed, we're trying to flip bullish, and then the last minute, sellers step in, we close bearish. That's a bad signal. That's the time to get out the trade. Yeah. That is time to exit the position, in my opinion, right there. You're gonna end up, you see that breakdown? Look at that 5 minutes as well. So a little top wick and I'm out. Wow, I'm so close of closing. Yeah. Oh, it's the same level. It's the same level. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I'm out. Okay, I'm out. Yeah, close the trade in full, guys. I just don't like the choppy behavior here. Especially in the last 15-minute candle. When the candle comes up and it closes extremely strong and it immediately comes back down and it closes bearish, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Okay? I'm not the biggest fan of this. If this plays out, I would kick my head a little bit, to be honest. Okay? But we took out around $600. We took out around $600. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, if it goes, it goes. But not trying to be too greedy here. Not trying to be too greedy right now at the moment. It's just it is impressive. Okay, it is impressive how well things are holding here right now. What is the chat doing? Let me see the chat. Let me read the chat real quick. Chat, what's up? What are the guys doing? Let's see. Holding. Obviously, you guys are holding. Always. Till the end. Always. That's how you guys are made. Yeah, it is holding. Yeah. Okay, anyways, guys. I hope you understand the reason of the trade right here. Okay, I took around $600 profit out of the setup. For me, in this condition, it's okay. Entry was at 30. Okay, the reason why is we tapped into the range. The range was a clear breakout, so we had the range, we had the breakout, we had the retest. We were a little bit oversold, okay? We were a little bit oversold right there, and as well, the price became very, very bearish. You could simply see if you do the replay here. But I'd say price was there, right? Number one. Let's go to like the 5-minute. Price was coming down, and then around here, you could kind of see the 50-minute actually says it very well. You could see that gold had a really hard time here breaking down, and you could see that sellers got a bit exhausted, right? Sellers got a bit exhausted. Price came down. Sellers got a bit exhausted, and we tapped into the very high of that level. And yeah, I just wanted to risk that setup. I think it just made sense. Made sense risking. The ping pong right here is, yeah. Is what it is. But yeah, I mean, shit, man. Entry was good. Very good. $600 trade. 600 should have been 6,000. No. Not in the 50s. Enter was perfect. Enter was good. Yeah, took around full TP at TP1 instead of holding on to a runner. Look at all that absorption on both sides. And look at this candle right again, right? Look at all that resistance here. It's tough one. It's a tough cookie to crack in the counter trend scenario. You know what I mean? It's a tough cookie to crack right there. So I would not blame you. I would not blame you for taking profits here. I would definitely not blame you for taking profits. Taking profits, in my opinion, is critical in these conditions. Yeah. All right, guys. I think my job is done. Yeah. Nothing else I will add on here to it. If this goes and you're still in, congratulations. What I tried to do this stream was to snipe a bottom somewhere. That's it. I tried to snipe a bottom, and because of the trending push to the downside here, taking profits. Also taking profits because of the fact that we're pretty much still, if you believe it or not, in a larger range. Yeah, we're pretty much flat, okay? Don't forget that. We're talking about downtrends, but at the same time, we haven't even taken out June's lows yet, okay? We're still trading above it, so yeah. Taking profits is, in my opinion, by definition, a good idea in this condition, in general. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. Okay. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for the support. Quick counter trend scalp. That's what we could make out of it. And yeah, we'll just build our account continuously. Right? We're now at 17 point. No, we're at 18 again. We're at 18K again, okay? We're at 18K again. All right? Okay, guys. Much love. I'm gonna get back tomorrow. I have to probably fly out tomorrow, by the way. I'm not sure if I will be on the stream. I hope I will be. I'll keep you updated in Telegram. We might have to fly out to the country for a day. Some sort of visa thing. Long story, but we'll keep you updated, okay? I might be streaming and then go later, so it might be after the stream. So I'll keep you updated, okay? Awesome. Anyways, if you took profits as well, take profits though. Very important here in this condition. Yeah. All right. Okay. Much love, fam. Thank you for the stream. Looking forward to see you next time. Yeah. Cheers. Much love, guys. See you later. Yeah? Ciao, ciao.